Yeah, because I had it muted. I had it muted. Hey, what a way to get off to the new year.
Classic Max.
Classic Max. Anyway, welcome to Mondays with Max. Getting off to a good start here. Hopefully this works out okay, because right now it says error, YouTube is not receiving. I got it, Hawk. Excuse me while Hawk calls me. What? I know I was. I already said that. Pay attention. All right. All right, bye. Anyway, he was calling because wanted to make sure I knew I was muted, but I already knew that. Because we got the new wheels on the chairs, and now I'm up higher, and I haven't adjusted the camera. Sunflower Mama wanted to know why my head was kind of cut off. That's because we got new wheels for the chairs, so they roll easier. But they're also taller, so I'll have to scooch down a little bit, so I'm not having my top of my head cut off. Alrighty, let's get started. With so many distractions at the beginning, let's see who is here. Patrick Murphy, Nick Riley, Mike the Miner, Kaiser, Alexander Flino, Retro Mike Tech, Patty Weck Miner, Second TL, Burn, Rogelio Esquire, Travelers Travel, Steven Cicero, Carl Cote, AC Mining, The Toxic Miner, Tim I Am Crypto, Helix, Integra Guy, Mining of the North, Gaming with Smokey Dan, Team JFK, Rick Borgia, Geek of all trades, not just one trade, but all trades. Alex Stanescu, I think I got that one right. Mr. Red Panda Mining, thank you for being here. Austin Babb, Ryan Piley, Scott A. Let's see, Emma C. Crypto Junkie. Oh, MC Crypto Junkie. The Stick Shark. All Track. Denny Flatland BMX. Another cyclist out there, I would think. Let's see. DJ Mines, thanks for getting everybody raiding over here. Appreciate it. Cape Cod Crypto. Son of a Rabbit. Kind of how I felt at the start of the stream. Solar Miner. Your friend Andy is even here. Thank you, sir. Good to see you. Hot Crypto Mining. Thanks for trying to save me from myself. All right. If I missed anybody, I apologize. I'm going to do one last scan through everything, see if I missed any members. Oh, the Mining King. The Mining King is here. You're supposed to be in Vegas having fun. Go have fun. Really, go. We'll wait. No, seriously, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Probably all showed out at this point, at least for the day. And Mr. Chump Change is here. All right, that's it. Golden Wolf. I'm just like kind of scanning. Ovalbore Tech. Wow. No, you did not miss the rebrand poll, but thank you for reminding me of that. Yes, in Classic Max, definitely. Your friend Andy says, you took my money in poker. Yes, I did take your money in poker. That was the last time I saw you. Hopefully we'll see each other again in future shows. Would like to go to Mining Disrupt next year. Howdy. Shides just gave Ovalbore a beer. Well, I think that's a pretty regular thing. Yeah, almost last. Remember this. Okay, let's get started on the subjects. Hang on a second. Let me see what else was tagged. Yeah, I know I was muted. There's something else I thought I saw that I was going to comment on. Yes, I am ready. Snowmageddon. Are you serious? This is not Snowmageddon. We're going to get... Okay, I know this is your first winter in Chicago, Geek. So... Okay, well, yeah, you're going to get more snow than we get down here. But be very careful because it varies so wildly, but they always state the highest amount. So whenever somebody says it's going to be 5 to 7 inches, or if they say 2 to 5 inches, it's usually closer to the 2. What they do is, remember, weather is entertainment. And the higher the snow total, the more eyes they have on the news, which means more money for advertisers. So always remember that. They'll always tell you a range, and it's usually, not always, usually towards the lower end of that scale. The higher end is always usually like the NAM model. But it is, anyway, it is pretty interesting because this time the Euro model is actually showing the highest, and that's usually the most accurate. So anyway, all right, I'll stop talking about weather. We can talk about ROI later because I know that was something that everybody loved during the last stream. Anyway, all right, well, let's take a look at where Bitcoin is. I know DJ was watching this very, very closely. All right, share screen. God, you'd think I hadn't done this in like forever. Feels like a while. Share. And add to scene. There we go. So we're currently 46,560. I'm not hating that. But what was interesting to me was I got messages on my phone during the middle of the day. And yeah, I was like, what's going on here? Why is Bitcoin up? And it's everybody filing their S1s, which is the last step prior to getting the approval. So that basically shot everybody's expectations to over 90% sure that there are going to be a number of spot Bitcoin ETFs approved in the very, very near future. Obviously, the deadline is Wednesday. So I don't know if they would be able to, and the deadline for Wednesday is actually only 2 of them. It was ARC was one of them, and something 21, I think, was another one. Anyway, there's only 2, but there's obviously many applications. So the real question is how many are going to be approved on Wednesday and how many would wait, or are they all just going to be approved on Wednesday? Obviously, people are thinking that it's going to be approved on Wednesday. Kind of hoping, and I mentioned this before on Saturday night, kind of hoping that they don't approve anything, that they find some technicality that, well, you know, we can't quite do it yet because we have to get this clarification and this little I dotted over here and this T crossed over here, because the longer this thing drags out, the higher Bitcoin I think will become. Everybody says, hey, it was priced into the market. Well, we can see it still doesn't stop the people who are just hearing about it every single time this news comes out that somebody else that didn't know about it before now knows about it, and therefore continues to pump the price every time this happens. So, hey, if we could have 2 or 3 more delays, please, Mr. Gensler, I would really appreciate it. That would be awesome. There was one other thing that I thought was pretty interesting. One of the articles that I was reading referenced this Gary Gensler thread. That's the season greetings video. Basically said some things to keep in mind if you're considering investing in crypto assets. It's a very general tweet, or sorry, because it's X now, post on Twitter. You know, it's very general, and it's something that he put out back, I think it was October of 22, I think is when they had the first Bitcoin futures ETF. And he put out something very, very similar to this right before those got approved. So this seems to be a foreshadowing that in the very near future there is going to be a spot Bitcoin ETF approved. Like I said, real question is how many. So yes, my wishful thinking of not, and basically having a few more delays, I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. But it could be worse. I mean, we certainly don't want them to not be approved, so that would be the worst option. But anyway, so pretty excited to see what happens this week. Yeah, this was the other thing. SEC Gensler takes to crypto Twitter as ETF deadline looms, and this is where I got the information from. the thread, and then talking about the S1s being just released today. The amended S1 filings were just released, which is a final step before the SEC moves to approve or deny products. So pretty cool. I think we'll see a little bit of a drop off after this news. Obviously, adoption is going to be a major piece of that. So just because the products are out there, it's going to take a while. I think at least a little while for some adoption. So, let me catch up on the chat. Well, Giga All Trade says, "Oh, so when they say we are getting 8-inch, oh, sorry." Anyway, yes, it's about right. Think half. Okay, going on to the next subject is new graphics cards. We all love technology, right? We all love technology. Speaking of that, I am going to post a poll, I think. Yeah, hide. Thank you. There we go. I am going to post a poll. Well, I was going to post a poll. Very interesting. It isn't allowing me to post a poll like it normally does. Oh, okay, there it goes. For some reason, the plus sign wasn't showing up, but there it is now. All right, start a poll. So one of the things that I was thinking about when I was considering how some people may feel about me talking about vast AI, it is neither mining or crypto, which is the title of my channel. So I am curious how people feel about that, and would like to know if I should change my title of my channel. Should I change the title? Don't worry about that. Of my channel to yes. No, leave it. Oh, but change to something else. All right. Let me know what you guys think. Sunflower Mama, I know, has already voted for no, leave it because of merch and the sign behind me. But was curious. Good morning, Ivan Yoon. All right. What? Oh, Dad's crypto and shenanigans. You know, it's funny you mentioned that. There is a crypto dad. He mainly does wallet stuff from what I can tell. But he does, hey, if you're looking for hardware wallets, he's got some great information. Am I on Brave browser? No, I do not have. No, I am not on Brave browser. Yes, I have lots of ads on my page. Or no, change bear the wrath of mean old oval until you mine again. I am mining. That's the thing. I am mining. We'll talk about that in a bit. Game of Smoky Dan. The best card for the price to performance and worth keeping an eye on is the 4070 Ti Super, as basically a cut down 4080. Burns old grandpa's tech and such. Don't even. I'm not a grandpa. That's first and foremost, so I can't even say that. That would be false advertising. So there you go. Doesn't matter that I could be a grandpa, but I'm not. All right, let's see what else. What was Hawk's suggestion? New title. Oh, can't say that on stream. What did what's her name do? The one woman cyclocross racer? Was she effing something effing? Yeah, yeah. It was KDF in Compton. Was a cyclocross racer a number of years ago. She won like I don't know 10 years in a row national championship. I don't think she ever won a world championship, but she came very very close. But anyway, for a U.S. cyclist, so oh, king of all trades, don't give in to the degens. Stay true and to your name. Well, I think that's their point, though. Crypto maximize with max voltage. That's yeah. I appreciate all the suggestions. That's for sure. All right. Well, I keep putting them in there. I'll come back to them every once in a while. Oh, I'm Grandpa to Little Hawk. Oh, that's nice to think of it that way, I suppose. Oh, that would be interesting. Nismo Miner saying max voltage AI mining and crypto. Yeah, because then you only have to put like two little words. I like that.
Max voltage mining crypto and tech.
Is that what somebody else said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could add tech to the end. Because I mean, what got me into all this was the tech. I was building a computer for my daughter, thought, I heard about this mining thing. Let's get a few graphics cards. Let's see what we do with it. And that's really kind of how it started. It was about the tech, not about the crypto. Yes, now I'm into it and I like the crypto part of it, but my point is the origination part of it was the tech. That was my first love. Yes, I'm into the crypto because of the idea of it as well as the ability to make money. So anyway, am I buying Nvidia stock? Not with where it's at right now. Although I haven't looked at it recently, but it was like skyrocketing. Yeah, I think, it went up really fast. And I don't know. I'm more of a value investor. I like to buy things that are lower. In fact, I'll go off on a little bit of a tangent here. So one of the things I'm doing, obviously, we all know lithium went up, and I'm the type of person that likes to take a little bit of profit. I don't take everything out, but I will take a little bit of profit out so that everything that's left riding on it is basically like free money, basically, at that point. If I lose everything at that point, no big deal, because I've taken enough where I'm still whole at the end of the day, I guess you could say, in a way. So, but what I've done with this is watching Son of a Tech, and we've heard other people talk about this as well. Like what's going to be the next one to jump up in price. And we've all been talking about Alephium, and we've been talking about Radiant, we've been talking about Nexa. Well, once Retro Mike says, titles, names don't matter, just stick true to yourself, and the people will follow and respect you. Thanks, Retro Mike. Appreciate that, and appreciate the $5 super chat as well. Really appreciate that. I'm not going to jump up and down like like DJ and throw my what on the table, but I do know that I appreciate it as much as DJ does. Appreciate that. So anyway, so again, appreciate the sentiment on that. Now I lost track of what I was saying. Shoot. I was about ready to start talking about Nvidia. Oh, that's right. So was watching Son of a Tech's video, and it said, what's the next Alephium? And I was like, he's probably going to say Radiant. And so I watched to it, basically found where he said it, and I was like, oh, okay, now I understand why he thinks it will. And I was very, very happy with that. Okay, I'll come back to that in a second. Thank you, Geek of All Trades, for gifting 5 max voltage mining and crypto memberships. Well, or should I say, gifted 5 name to channel to be named later memberships. So let's see who are the winners. Solar Miner, Kyle Rosa, Sox Fan, Carl Cote, and Jean-Francois Abin. Abon? Okay, has he told you that's how you say it? Okay, got it. I know it's French, obviously. So, all right. So anyway, so I was watching it and he basically talked about the fact that the part of the reason why a lot of these coins that can be mined by FPGAs and then eventually ASICs, they all follow this very, very similar pattern. And Alephium is just following that pattern. Now, that doesn't mean Alephium is a bad coin just because it's following that pattern. It just means that other coins that have similar qualities to it will most likely follow that pattern, because you'll have people mining the coin on FPGAs until they get to a point, and then they'll take their private streams and make them public, which will help drive up the price, and other things as well. So bottom line, what I started to do was I took my profits from Alephium and bought more Radiant. So I've doubled my holdings in Radiant through doing that. Plus, I've taken all of my Pyrin that I've been mining, sold that, and have been buying Radiant. That's my current strategy until it pumps, which probably means it's probably going to be like tomorrow, because I'd really like to be able to use this strategy for like a week or 2 weeks before it pumps. But every time I do this, I'm always late to the game and it pumps way earlier than I want. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, I still have a decent bag of Alephium. I'm not selling anymore. That's going to be it. And then the rest of it will be through mining that I'll be buying more Radiant. So J Rose just became a member. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Travelers Travels. You know, I'm glad you brought that up, because I did want. Oh shoot! Yes, I need to get that out. I did get the package. Member for 10 months. In fact, let me get that. Travelers Travels has been working on this for a while, because we talked about this way back when, and then he finally told me he finished it. This thing is really cool. It's going to be mounted behind me somehow, probably with the stand he gave to me. But it says it does work. He sent it with a riser and everything. But this thing, you guys will. This is crazy. Yes, it's a flannel sapphire nitro. Absolutely love this thing. It is nice, and the fans spin. I mean, there's no, maybe a little bit of resistance. Yeah, there's a little bit of resistance, but love it. Absolutely love this thing. Well, that's going to get posted behind me. Love it. So thank you, Travelers Travels. I appreciate it. No, it's actual flannel. It is fuzzy. The blanket's downstairs on the coffee table. So he sent the remnants, which have come in really handy when I was building rigs in the basement. So when I had to move a bunch of things around, so I was taking rigs off of the rack and had to put them somewhere, in order not to scratch up the table, I was using that. It worked out really, really well. So again, appreciate that as well. What's the card? It is it a 470, I think? Or is it a 390? I was trying to remember. I'm sure Travels probably already put it in the chat. I wasn't even sure if this is the original box. 390. I guess it was R9 390. So yeah, I now have an AMD card now. Again, after selling all of my 5700 XTs to Retro Mike. Those things still mining, Retro Mike? $390X? It doesn't say $390X on the box. It says in the box, Sapphire R9 390. It's an 8 gig card. Yeah. So there you go. But like I said, that thing's not going to see mining. That is going to be displayed. It is a beautiful piece of artwork in my mind. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Gaming with Smokey Dan, LOL. That Dr. Evil turn? Was that me going to get the card? Alrighty, but thank you for reminding me of that. I would have forgotten. I was gonna show it last Monday, but again, I was sick last Monday, and I've been like still sick, but feeling better. Just unfortunately now I got a sinus infection, so I'm working through that. But again, feeling a lot better than I did last week, no question. Did I see the Easter egg labels on the box, the back of the GPU? Oh yeah. I forgot about that. Yes. Max voltage applied. I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me that so I could show that. I did not notice that the CD and the manual is under the foam tray. He put that label in there, and I feel like he did it just to like get me. Oh no, it is actually underneath there. What I loved it is the fact that it came with a CD. I mean, what comes with a CD these days? So, all right, well, let me get this. Oh, and then, oh shoot, I gotta show this. This one I had not seen because I was so focused on opening the box. So on the box, it says General Max Edition. Love it. So thanks again, Travelers Travels. Really appreciate it. Yes, and like I said, he did send a stand with it. So I'll get that all going here sometime this week. We got a lot of organization to do around here with the basement now being fixed up from the little bit of the water leak that we had, and we need to kind of get it put back together. Let's see, what else? Have you tried the Flux benchmark? Yes, Georgie, I did actually. Funny you should mention that. Let's see if I can figure out where I can find that, because I'm probably still on. The one that's on there isn't even my best one. And it's funny you mentioned that, because let's see, Flux benchmark. I was hoping that yeah, I had this listed somewhere and I don't even remember where it was. If anybody's got the link to the list of the Flux benchmarks, let me try run on Flux. What's that? Just go to run on Flux and see if I can find it. Try now. Leaderboard. There we go. So mine is like a very basic. I know they can't see it, but I'll show you which one I am. Because I'm not in Aurora, but yet that's what it comes up as, because that's where my IP address originates from. But let me add to that scene. There we go. And I am number 15. This was me. I basically took, and I probably could have taken the 1000 series, but I wanted to be fair. So there were a number of ways that this could be manipulated. If you had, this one had two 4090s. This was actually, by the way, a little bit slower than the original one I had with only one card in it. But if you put a like 1660 Ti in the first slot and then put a 4090 in the second slot, you got like 50% more performance. And you're only supposed to be doing, it's only supposed to be benchmarking on the first one. So I had the number one slot for the 1000 series cards, which would have had me win 1000 Flux. But I didn't want to win that way. I had forwarded that information to Jeff Key. I don't know if they did anything about it. I'm not really thrilled about, there's one person on there that won 3000 Flux because he used the same rig but reloaded it. I'm guessing reloaded it 3 different times. and just put different cards in there each time and gave it a different title so that it would stay on the actual. You can see this is the Bitcoin Andy. So yeah, he's got Bitcoin Andy 4. And then if you go down to like, if we just said, look at like 1000 series cards, which would be the best one is going to be 1660 Ti. Where is it? That's 1050 Ti. There's 1660. Yeah, go to 1660. It's still not the. Yeah, you need 1660 Ti was the one. But anyway, point being is he won 3 separate categories. There's actually an announcement on the actual Flux Discord about it. Ew, Flux talk, boring, crypto bidell. Yeah, well, there's other things I'm sure that you're interested in. I'm sure other people aren't interested in. So there you go. Somebody asked me the question and I answered it. So there you go. Still be a neat max voltage display piece. Oh yeah, hell yeah. I'm really looking forward to getting that up behind me and figuring the best way I can display it. All right. So anyway, so yeah, that was me. That was my last run. Was number 15. I was as high as 8. Not sure I would have been 8 after all these other runs, but I mean, you can see Bitcoin Andy's both runs were, yes, very, very high. He had 192 gig of RAM. I don't know what the speed of the RAM is. Obviously, this one was run with 2. And that's the other thing. One thing I did find out. So the newer 4090s, you can't really overclock. And the reason for that was because of all of the fire issues that were happening with that. Basically, they were overpowering it and causing the wires to get warm and actually cause fires. So the second, about, I don't know, 9 to 12 months into it, they started manufacturing the cards hard locked so that they could not overclock the same way. I tried overclocking. I could not get it to overclock at all on either the Gigabyte or the PNY. If you got one of the original ones, you could overclock it and get much higher scores. So that's probably what Bitcoin Andy did. If I had one of the newer ones, I think I would have been doing a lot better. But anyway, I am on the first page at the very least. I guess I should have titled it a little bit different than just Ubuntu 20.04.6. So people would know it was me. But anyway, that's what's going on with that. Let's see if we got other questions in here. I'm still using 5.25 inch floppies. You are not doing that. Not at all. Okay. So let's talk about the Nvidia GPUs. So I really like this chart because it does do a good job of showing the differences. And so let's go from the bottom up. Let's go from 4070 up. So 4070 to 4070 Super is a nice jump. 5,888 up to 7,168. You're looking at a high percentage jump in cores. But everything else is pretty much the same. You got a little bit higher base clock. Memory's the same. The wattage is another 20 watts. That's also good. That's how they're getting the higher base clock, is with the higher power. So, but again, from what we've been hearing, the 4070 Super is getting near the 4070 Ti performance. Now, the 4070 Ti to 4070 Ti Super, this one is really interesting to me because they didn't change the price. The price is the same. But in this one, you get a nice jump in cores of about 800 or so. And then you go from 12 gigabytes to 16 gigabytes of memory, which increases the memory bus from 192 to 256. This is going to be really good. Homebrew Crypto says Nvidia actually has the world convinced that these prices are reasonable. They should all be 30 to 40% cheaper. So that's the issue, is we're a capitalist society. They have the ability to price this wherever they want, but they also have to suffer the consequences if they don't sell. If they are selling at the prices that they set, then the prices are set properly. Their goal, and that's by law, their goal is to maximize shareholder profit. That is absolutely the goal of every single public company. That's by law. So I know people don't want these to cost as much. I don't want them to cost this much. But the fact that they continue to sell at these prices tells Nvidia that maybe we haven't priced it high enough. So the only way that this becomes an issue is if the market shuts down, where people just stop buying GPUs. But we all know what's going on. That's simply not going to happen. So they could be charging a lot more. But then they'd have even more backlash from consumers, which then could hurt the stock price. There's a lot of things that go into it. Scott A says, did they announce if there will be a Founders Edition or just third-party cards? There will be all Founders Editions on all these cards. They displayed all three. So going back to the 4070 Ti, yes, a nice jump in the memory bus. It's going from 192-bit to 256-bit. The base clock also went up, and obviously the bandwidth went up as well with the increase in the memory bus. And same TDP. And then 4080 Super. This is interesting from a pricing perspective because they lowered the price on this. I don't know. This one's probably a spam call. I have no idea who that is. Anyway, 4080 Super, same amount of memory, fairly decent jump. It's only 500 CUDA cores or so. So not a huge jump in the number of CUDA cores, and certainly from a percentage standpoint, not that big. The base clock went up a decent amount, almost 100 megahertz. The boost clock went up. The memory clock also went up a little bit, and therefore the bandwidth went up. So this is a nice card, but really not that significantly better than the 4080 in my opinion. But the key thing is the price. The original price of the 4080 was $1199, and now the RTX 4080 Super is at $999. That seems, well, it's certainly better than $1199. Let's just leave it at that. We all have our opinions on whether or not that's reasonable or not. I am very curious about all of these, if and when they will actually be included on VAST. One of the ones that I have noticed is not included on VAST is the 4070 Ti. It's still, anywhere I look, it doesn't look like there's any 4070 Ti's on the platform. I always found that a bit interesting. Everything else is, though, including like 4060 Ti's. So interesting. What do you guys all think of the super cards that were just announced? CryptoBadell says, my 7800 XT are better than the 4080 and a cheaper price. Better for what, though? That's the thing. Better for what? You can't use 7800 XTs for AI presently. Not saying that you won't ever be able to, but you can't currently put it on those types of platforms at this point. So there is a versatility issue there, depending on what you want to do with it. 7000 XT better than the 4080 for gaming? Yeah, I believe that. No question. Is it better on Kapow coins? Yeah, absolutely. So obviously there's a lot more Kapow coins now than there were, say, I don't know, 12 months ago. So making AMD extremely, I shouldn't say extremely, it's making it much more competitive from a standpoint of, it used to be, the AMD cards are just good for ETH. That's the way it used to be. They're not really good for much else. Now you look out there, and now you've got Dynex and you've got Kapow or ProgPow variant coins that all do extremely well on AMD. So, and at more efficient clocks as well. So you don't generate quite as much heat when you're on those. So Erted says, Jay's 2 cents said the 4080 is not being produced now that the 4080 Super from his understanding. Yeah, but they're going to be left. They may be left over in the market. That's the thing. I never had any trouble finding the 4080 Super. I mean, not the 4080 Super, but just the 4080. So I'm kind of curious. Whatever's out there, I would imagine is going to have to be discounted by at least $50 or $100. I mean, well, $50 or $100 less than the Super. I mean, who's going to want to buy the 4080 at 1,100, 1,050, 1,000? I wouldn't even consider it at anything above $900. I might consider it at $900, but that's it. Geekable Trade says, don't sleep on Intel cards. ARC 770s are going to be sick on AI eventually. Yeah, I mean, I'll be really curious to see that. I honestly, I really haven't looked too much into the Intel cards at this point, but yeah, I know some people that have gotten their hands on them, and the support for them has increased a lot, so that's a good thing. What is that thing with the little LED screens on it? I see the ad for it, but also see it behind you. Yeah, that is what the heck was it called? It doesn't tell me. It's from Devoom. So this was the box to it. Timesgate. Somebody gave it to me as a Christmas present. So it came in this box. Very cool. So what it does show on there, and it's programmable. You can have multiple displays. But right now it is displaying time and date on the two far ones on the left. And actually, since the stream started, I have gone up by about 10 subscribers. So thank you very much. I'm at 4190 according to this, but this only goes up in increments of 10. And then it has a view count, which the view count's kind of strange because the view count only shows to a certain date, which was like March 20th or 21st of like 2021. That's I looked to see like how many views I had since then, and that's about where it is. So it's, I don't know, I'm not sure, but it's everything since then from what I could tell. I'll test it in another month and see if it still gives me that same reading. And then the one on the far right is the weather. So I'm still playing with it, but that's what I initially set it at. Allows me to come in and take a look at things at a glance instead of having to pull up a website and such. So obviously you guys can't really read it because it's blurry back there. But anyway, yeah, so who gave it to me? I have not seen him in here tonight, but he knows who he is, and thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Let's see what else is going on. So $800 for a 4070 Ti feels like a 2021 price, which is homebrew crypto. Not sure what you mean if that means high or low. And Geekball Trade said, for those prices, the 4070 Ti Super is the real deal there. Yeah, I agree. Key is getting more VRAM, and that's going to be the real key. It would have been much more interesting at the 4080 Super if it came with 20 gigs of VRAM. That would have been much more interesting, in my opinion. Bacon, Eggs, and Hash says, you're kicking Hawk's ass. Just kidding. Hawk, we love you, man. Well, to be fair, I started my channel before Hawk. So there's that. And he has been adding subscribers at a much faster rate than I was last year. Last year, I mean, it was like in the 100 or 200 the entire year I added. So there really wasn't much being added. But of course, I wasn't doing much content either. So, which I haven't changed on my goals. I just, like I said, I'm trying to feel better. I'm focusing on my health right now and making sure that I'm getting sleep, and went to bed early last night. So let's see. What else was I going to talk? There was one other thing I had on in my description, as well as, here, let's look at that. Oh, I already talked about that. Is RXD the next ALF? So I already talked about that. And then the other thing is DJ versus Max. And Unfortunately, last time I checked, he was still winning. Really? I'm always fighting Google on on storage. So right now it says no edits can be made to the file. Delete files. Let me try to see if I do a refresh and see if it will actually come up with the prices. So I'm not editing. I'm just trying to load in the prices. It doesn't look like it's going to do it. Dang it. Well, I loaded it like literally an hour ago and it loaded and he was ahead by like 1%. So neither Caspa or Litecoin is doing much as far as price goes. So you know, at this point, it's like I'm planning on looking at this at the end of the year. That's where the finish line. That's where I see the finish line. And right now, we just got out of the gate. And so if you know you're ahead by a nose, you know, 10 feet out of the gate, who cares? You know, that's kind of where we're at this point. But we'll continue to keep track of it. I'll watch it every single week with you guys. And you know, obviously, if all of a sudden he gets 100% and I'm still at 10%, yeah, now he's got like an 8-length lead on me. But who knows? Maybe the other way around. We shall see. All right, well, let's head into AMA here. Gigavault trades. Oh yeah, 4070 Ti Super is the worst name though. Yes, it is. Unless they add a turbo on the end of it, that would make me want to buy it. More RGB. Gaming with Smoking Dan said, "What are your thoughts and everyone else in chats on the 12 to 13 GPU server case? No motherboard or PSU for $129, which includes the shipping cost." I don't even know that product. Sounds interesting. I can't imagine it's going to fit 12 to 13 4090s since they're so wide. Travel. I'd like to see if you can get that GPU mining. I think you may need a certain driver or miner for Hive. I had it working in Windows, not mining, just displaying. Yeah, I could, but yeah, that would make me a little nervous. Yeah, that would definitely make me nervous. Retro Mike with another $5 super chat. Thank you. Price doesn't equal value. LTC continues to lead transactions on BitPay. Real world usage is greater than price discovery. I'm thinking about it from an investment standpoint. And I think greater usage, which will get greater usage, will lead to a higher price. It's not at this point, it's about, and I like real world usage, not just hype. And that's what I see in a lot of the other coins. Again, not trying to go against the grain or anything, but when you have, you know, products like LTC that are consistently being used every day for real transactions because it saves people money, it's just easier. It's honestly, I'm surprised that Bitcoin being as expensive as it is to transact hasn't hurt its price, and hasn't helped LTC along the way. This is why I think LTC, there isn't like a marketing group behind it. It just is what it is. And but what it does very, very well. So Gaming Smoky Dan said, we'll post a pic in Discord. Max voltage can fit 2 ATX PSUs or server PSUs. Also comes with fans. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I have to take a look at that. S Chang, I'm looking for coins that will go 600x. Any suggestions? No, because anything that goes 600x, nobody knew it was going to go 600x until it was 100x. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a minute. And I suppose Caspa was a little bit unique. I don't know. The ones I'd be looking at are things that people already really kind of know about, but have kind of fallen asleep on. That's why I think Radiant is a good buy at this point. As far as looking for big gains, but yeah, not financial advice. I honestly think people take risks. I mean, educated risks, but take risks and get somewhat lucky in the decisions that they make. There's no guarantees with the decisions that they make. Now, you can take your friend Andy approach if you have that kind of money to diversify. Now, I've tried to diversify more, but you put a lot of bets knowing that 90% of them aren't going to pan out, but 10% will pan out and 1% will get you that 600 gain. So how to find that 600 gain? Invest in 50 projects. Then you'll find that one. And it's still that 600 times gain is still gonna, okay, so yeah, you invested 50 to get 600. So it's not 600 at that point, but that's still a really nice gain. That's a 12 times gain at that point. So if you look at that ratio. So let's see, Retro Mike, Overboard Tech. Oh, K-Spec, how you doing? How you doing, sir? Yeah, I'm sure that Retro Mike would tell you should invest in Pigeon. Definitely Pigeon. Next hasn't been doing very well recently, actually. I was just looking at that before the stream. Let me pull it up. But again, this could be just the fall before the pump. Wouldn't be the first time we've seen that pattern. Let me go out to. Oh, there it is. I was like, not used to using this site. Let's go to 3 months. You can see there was a peak of around I'm not even sure what that little 5 zeros versus 4 zeros. Got it. But anyway, you can see that it's come way down from where it was, but it also hasn't reached its floor. So Pigeon will melt faces. Pigeon's gonna melt faces. I don't think that's a good thing. Are you saying that's a good thing? That's gonna surprise people? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I mean, what you could do if you looked at here, let's pull up Pigeon. Oh, she took my screen away. I know. Pigeon. Wanted to look at the chart. What the heck? There we go. That's 30-day. So you can see it tends to pump at times. Although not as much as I thought. I guess there was that nice little spike. Oh wow, yeah, that was a nice little spike in at the beginning of the year. 1 year. Yeah, it basically spiked up to where it was way back here. So I mean, you could always reinvest in Pigeon and know to get out, when it gets up to its previous high, because it seems like that's kind of where its resistance is. So not necessarily a bad play, putting a little bit of money in Pigeon. Not financial advice. $5 super chat from Crypto Bedell. Thank you very much. I heard Jesus coin will overtake all. Yes, you will not bait me into putting up Jesus coin. I refuse. Martin, good to see you, sir. Just joining in. Wine Nvidia Super. Did I miss something? So Nvidia came out with their super cards today. Every time, that's like their redo of the current generation. They always come out with their super cards. So they came out with the 4080 Super, 4070 Ti Super, and the 4070 Super. And Gaming Explained Dan said, post it in the members channel if you want to check it out. All right, let me pull up Discord. And actually, while I'm doing that, I totally forgot about this. This stream is brought to you by Dynex.
You know quantum computers. You know blockchain. But do you know both together? Dynex was the first platform to create a neuromorphic supercomputing blockchain-based algorithm which solves real-world problems. And the best part? Anyone can post a job, whether a company from the Global 2000, a machine learning job, or fintech and pharmaceutical. And if you don't want to program it yourself, get an expert directly at the marketplace. Run the job and be impressed by the fast result.
Alrighty, I'm back. Yeah, Dynex is coming along. That is for sure. All right, let me see. This is the case he was talking about. I was looking to see if I had a link, but I don't see the link. I just see the picture. So I will show you guys the picture. I don't have any insides or anything from that. But yeah, interesting. Yeah, if you can provide that link, give me a Smoky Dan, I would appreciate it. I would love to take a look at that. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. This is a little bit better picture. Interesting. Curious, like how tall the cards can be, or if they're only server-based cards, like A4000s, 5000s, and 6000s, those types of cards. And I guess you could maybe put 4090s in here, but maybe you can only put 6 or 5. And then, of course, the motherboard all depends on what you put in here as to how many lanes it's going to have. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. That is pretty darn interesting. Yeah, I'll definitely take a look at that. All right, let me get back to the chat. Let's see. All right, let's see where, okay, the no leave it win. I know that is really sad for you, Overboard Tech, but I'm ending the poll. It was overwhelming. Leave the title of the channel the same. Wah, wah, wah. But thanks for encouraging me to do that. I appreciate that because we talked about that and I really wanted to know what people's opinion of that were. Oh, Overtech says I lost track of how many rolls I've done with this clip. So just gonna keep on it for a bit. All right, let's see. Oh, Geek of All Trades, member for 18 months. That was the other thing I was gonna do. I wanted to pull up and wanted to at least thank each of the members that have been a member for over a year or longer, I should say. Give me 1 second. I thought about that. I was looking through things. I was like, oh man, been some people that have been a member for a long time. Oh, how did I figure this out the last time? It's not there. Shoot. I had a way that I pulled it up and now I can't find it. Give me 1 second. Hopefully I can figure this out because I really want to thank those members. Not there, not there. Oh, here we go. There we go. So, longest time member is Integra Guy. Thank you, sir. Been a member for 21 months. Geek of All Trades at 18 months. Rondi at 15 months. Crypto Tito at 15 months. Shides at 13 months. Steven Cicero at 12 months. Got a couple people that are almost up there. Obviously, we saw Travelers Travel at 10 months. And Joker Miner, since he's one in between, is 11 months. So he's almost at a year. So appreciate not just the members that have been supporting me for a really long time, but I appreciate everybody that supports the channel. Very, very much appreciated. All right, back to the chat. And sorry, Geek of All Trades, you made me think of it. I didn't even read what you said. I have nothing important to say, but why are we only at 77 likes, you degens? Smash it. Appreciate that. Let's see, what did that jump me up to? 81. Hey, I got 4 more likes out of that, so appreciate that. Teaspoon? What is it? Groundhog Day or something? Teaspoon, good to see you, sir. Appreciate you being here. Now 82 likes because Teaspoon liked me, so thank you. He likes me. He really likes me. Oh, Vortex. I prefer that you have to deal with my razzing. Yeah, that's good because by leaving the channel the same, then otherwise, if I change the channel, you wouldn't be able to razz me. So that's cool. That's cool. I voted for that and literally typed it. Let's see what else. What else am I missing here? Red Panda says, Retro Mike Tech, I lost my 20 million Pigeon Coin original wallet like 3 years ago or something. Man, we can't just give Hawk a hard time about losing wallets now. Or 120 million, I don't remember. Let's see what else. Rondi is here. I hadn't seen him here, but thank you, Rondi. Very much appreciate all the support, not just everything. You know what I mean? Everything. Overboard Tech said, someday you'll be back to regular old mining and all will be well. I'll go back to watching the solar inverter content. Like I said, that's my best performing video, is changing my solar inverter from cellular connection to an Ethernet connection, because good old 3G was deprecated. Bacon Eggs and Hash says, a lot of your viewers won't have you coming up in their feed if you change your name. Yeah, I know, that's one of those things. DJ Mine says, I forgot the exchange that stole my pigeon. They closed to US. That wouldn't be Voyager, would it? It's funny because I just came across Voyager emails today. I just finally deleted them. They were, I never actually put any money in Voyager, but Mark Cuban actually had a partnership with Voyager, and there was like, if you do this, that, and the other thing, you will get this much Bitcoin. And I forget exactly what the deal was, but it was enough to make me interested in it, and then just never followed through with actually making the deposit. And now I'm happy I did not do the deposit, since they are no longer. J Rose says, what is your reaction to Technicals Matt video razzing at Red Panda Mining? Oh, I see. You were asking Red Panda Mining that question. Yeah, I didn't see that. Let's see. A lot of love going back and forth. Martin, nobody talked about it, but you were right about Caspa with the deep dive you did with your chart. We should think first, purchase after. Thank you. As you notice, I've stopped doing that content because I don't want to rub anybody's nose in it. I was doing it as an alert, and it certainly has been a lot worse than what I predicted. And I kind of suspected that. I was trying to do the conservative approach, like, hey, if you're thinking about doing this, it doesn't look so hot, because everybody's going to be putting these things online. So anyway, good luck to all those people with the Caspa miners. I hope, because actually once I do Radiant, probably the next one I'm going to do is actually I'm probably going to start investing some money in Caspa, because hopefully at that point it'll be, somewhere in the range it's at, maybe even a little bit lower, where I can get in at a lower price. Bacon Eggs and Hash, max voltage, crypto tech, and solar. What do you think? Yeah, if I was starting the channel, maybe, but
If the solar panels are covered with snow.
well, the solar panels are going to be covered with snow tonight, so they won't be generating barely any energy. And they're on a second floor roof that is impossible to get to. So those are going to stay covered until they melt. All right, let's see. Crypto Geek of All Trades says DJ Mine switch some rigs over for a few days. You can run a node with 1 million pigeon. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's see. And K-Spec says, think the channel should be called Max's Financial and Tax Advice. It is getting to be that time of year. And I'm still recommending Koinly, but I'm actually toying with the fact of maybe trying CoinLedger this year. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. That is, in fact, it's one of the things I did not put on my list. Or did I? No, I did not. Tax software for crypto. Hopefully I can read that. That's on my little whiteboard that I use. J Rose, oh, Red Panda Mining, it was funny. Oh, you were saying it was really funny. Okay, got it. Teaspoon Miner said, finished my first week on call. Got a call at 2 a.m. this morning for a support request. Fun times. Yeah, third shift. Well, I actually think third shift is easier than second shift. But it all depends on where you're at. For me, second shift, some people like because you pretty much go to bed as soon as you get off of work. But then those last couple hours can just be really, really difficult. If you change your clocks like you do on third shift, you can do it where you're waking up maybe a couple hours before you actually go on at say midnight and then work until 8 in the morning. So a lot of different ways to do that. My son works third shift. So Gaming with Smokey Dan said, just put rig below the panels to keep the snow melted off them. Plus extra heat in the house can move later when temps. Yeah, blowing the panels off with where they are, it's impossible. And with wet snow, even trying to maybe put miners in the attic, that's not going to be enough to really melt anything because they're going to be a distance off the roof. Bacon Eggs says crypto with general voltage. Let's see if you guys have anything to tag me with. Let me see that. Otherwise, probably stopping in about another 5 minutes or so. Gonna try to get to bed early again tonight. Sox fan, well, no job. I have a lot of free time. Got my crypto on Koinly done. They don't have Pyrin, so I had to input it at USDT. That's interesting. Oval Bore. I don't know. Just wanted a tag. Hi, how are you? I'm doing okay. Doing okay. Give me another like 3-4 days, and I should be pretty much back to normal. I finally decided. I figured out what it was. Definitely was a sinus infection after the flu, and so started taking decongestant, drinking a lot of water. So not really having much in the way of caffeine. So trying to stay hydrated. And we'll see how it goes. Now, the one benefit to having a sinus infection is it really knocks out your appetite. So I'm not eating as much, which is good. So hopefully I'm losing some weight. So there you go. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you guys all for being here. I do really appreciate it. If you like this kind of content, please hit the subscribe button and hit like on the way out. What were you going to say? Oh, yes. Any new members, J Rose and any of the people that won, make sure that you link your Discord in, and then make sure you're in the Misfit Mining channel. And then down below, I have an OnlyFlans channel that is only for members.
Christmas trees coming up.
Maybe I should start an over under on that as to when the see, now it's not Cryptomas was when it was Christmas. Now it's just the crypto tree. And how do you know that it changed? Because the Cryptomas tree is colored lights. Now that it's white lights, it's the crypto tree. So it's not about the holiday anymore. It's about celebrating all the crypto YouTubers. So there you go. So I don't know. It's going to stay up for a while. I don't remember when it came down last year, like end of February, beginning of March.
I don't know. The more they ask about it, the longer it stays up.
Yeah, that's right. The more you guys ask about it, the longer it stays up. The more you guys bug me about it. I remember last year, I think people wanted it to stay up, so they just kept bugging me about it so that it would stay up. Yes. Alrighty. Well, I'm glad you like the tree, Nah City. Again, appreciate you guys all being here. I will be here again, hopefully next Monday. That is the plan. And hopefully keep an eye out. I'm trying to get some content done this week. Feeling better. I'm not going to try to push myself too much, but at least get one video out this week. So again, thanks again, guys. Thanks again to DJ Minds for the raid. Much appreciated. And you guys all have a wonderful night. The General is out.